Hello, this is an Oris Date Pointer, a hand-winding watch from the early 1980s, so it's coming up to 40 years old. There are older versions of this watch that have small seconds. This has a central seconds that sweeps nicely, you can see, pretty smooth. Let's have a look at this together, shall we? It's a really nice little thing, really special looking, and just feels fantastic on the wrist. And I think it's in part due to the unique date feature, really. There's just something really satisfying about that little red hand pointing at the date. I love that. Anyway, let's have a look at this together. Sorry, I'm getting a bit carried away with that little red hand. It's really nice. I'll focus in on it so you can see what's going on. So if you're not familiar with a date pointer, it's pretty much what it says on the in the name. One of the hands points to the date. So all the way around the outside of the dial are the days of the month, and the little red hand points at the day. So instead of having a date window, we've got a date hand, hence the name date pointer. Now, the pretty cool thing about this, given its age, is that it has a quick date set. So I'm just so put it out to the first click, and hang on, let me just get the hands away from there because I don't want to damage anything. So I can change the date. Quick date set, which I think is pretty cool for a watch of this age. Obviously, so that's the first click. Second click is setting the time, so it's kind of traditional in that sense. The quick date set is good, and then hand wind, and it's sort of 10-20 winds, and it's good for 30 plus hours. Amazing little thing. So let's have a look at it in detail. So I'll bring it in. Here we go. So we've got, as I said, the days of the month all the way around the outside in white. Then we've got the watch dial itself, let's say. So we've got the six, I don't know if you can make that out. There's a little sort of seconds track, minute track, isn't it? It's a minute track around the outside, so with a 60 at the top, 5, 10, and that's in sort of gold colour. Then the traditional 12, 1, 2, 3 all the way around, and that's filled with loom, which does work. It's pretty good actually, the loom. I don't know what that would be at this age. Would it be tritium? I don't know. It doesn't have a T on the Swiss made. Usually tritium has a T either side of the Swiss made. So I'm sorry I don't know what the loom is. Regardless, it does function. The hands, nice sort of sword hands. The minute hand there reaching out all the way to the edge of the minute track, but not overlapping, and then so it doesn't interfere with the date area. So there is a delineation between what I call the watch, the time keeping aspect of the watch, and then the date aspect of the watch. So there's a separation, which is a nice design. Then the hour hand again is a sword, and it's shorter than the minute hand, as it should be, and it reaches within the hour markers. So perfectly legible, it all makes sense. Now the second hand, you can see sweeping away, nice and simple, nice little tiny little counterbalance there. That's a really nice touch. Otherwise, just a straightforward silver needle, sweeping away. Again, just reaching out to the outer edge of the watch section, as I said before, not interfering with the date area. And then we've got the date pointer. Now, the reflection is a little bit tricky to work with. But hey, here we go. I'll see if I can focus that a bit better. Not really. There we go. So it's a silver hand, no counterbalance, and then a sort of a red, I'd call that a crescent shape, I suppose, just sort of cupping the day. So super easy to read if it's focused. There we go. Super easy to read. So 9:15 on the 19th. Perfect. And it ticks over perfect. Oh, let's do that actually. So let's watch it tick over as we get to midnight. So let's see what happens. Here we go. There we go. So, you know, within 5 minutes it's ticked over the day. So super functioning movement. Just an absolute delight. Now let's have a look at the case. So we've got this polished case, kind of traditional dress watch design. There's this stepped bezel to the this is where it gets tricky with the focusing. I apologise in advance, but bear with me. So we've got this really nice domed acrylic crystal with the sort of stepped bezel leading up to it. Oh, focusing is annoying. And then these nice polished sides and the swooping lugs that hug the wrist nicely. I'll show you it on my wrist in a minute. Now the crown is a sort of onion sort of crown. Oris is kind of famous for this shaped crown, and it's really easy to use. A good size. I wouldn't call it a big crown. Oris do a big crown, don't they? It's quite large, does stick out, but it's nice and grippy. It's got fantastic detail on it. A really handsome thing. I really like that. And it's got a sort of a slight gold colour to it on this video. That's the lighting really, and because that's what's touched most often. I suppose the metal reacts to the oils in the skin, and there's a slight discoloration, but it is original to the watch. Anyway, let's have a look a bit further around. So on the case back, it's a screw down case back, and it's set, and it's got the Oris. Now the reflections are tricky here. Oris logo. So we've got shock resistant, stainless steel back, water resistant. What does it say? 30 meters. Now that really is pretty feeble, so obviously no swimming with this, and no showers. Doing the dishes, I think it's pushing it. Anyway, it's not a diver's watch. What else did it say? 7376 Swiss made, and that nice Oris logo. And it's a nice flat case back. So there's no, because it's a hand winding, it's a thin movement in there, and so it's nice and thin. And then those lugs, nice and swoopy and straightforward. So I'll put it on my wrist, and you can see how it sits. Now this is an old leather strap that I put it on. I think it goes really nicely with. But you can see there how thin it sitsly. That's a good word. I might use that from now on. How thinly it sits on the wrist, how flat and it is, and how it hugs on those lugs. Perfect, absolutely perfect. So I've got a 7.5-inch wrist, and I think that absolutely looks fantastic. We're going to measure it now, and just drop it first. Great. It's not a big watch. I'm not really into big watches anymore. So it's 30. What is that? 37 millimeters from edge to edge. It wears slightly smaller because there's quite a lot of bezel there, and then there's that date track. So the watch itself, as I keep pointing out, is only this central bit. So the watch bit itself is only 25 millimeters. I know that's not how you measure watches, but where some small watches wear larger, this is 37, but it wears ever so slightly smaller, just the dial sort of architecture in my mind. Anyway, lug width 19 millimeters. This is a 20 millimeter strap, fits, squeezes in there nicely. And then The depth of the watch, as I said, it's pretty thin, so it's 1 centimeter to the top of the domed crystal, but the case itself is like 7 millimeters, so it's a diminutive little watch. Now, I can't show you the loom. To be honest, it's nothing to write home about. I'll give it a try, but I don't have any shutters or anything to keep the light out, so I'll just charge it up and then we'll see what happens. Nothing. So I'll just have to take my word for it. There's a little bit of loom, but it's nothing to write home about. There we go, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed that little look at the Oris Date Pointer. I should have really read what's on the dial. I mean, you can see it. Oris, printed, 17 joules. Underneath, waterproof, anti-shock. And then right at the bottom, Swiss made. So, you know, just a fantastic little Oris watch. And the date pointer is the killer feature in my mind. Please subscribe for more watch videos. Comment below if you've got something interesting to say about this watch and we can have a little chat. And have a look around my channel. There's other watch reviews. And I also do knives and EDC stuff. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you soon.